Hey guys, Sleep Grandma here with you. I made the following video because 53% of Americans hate their job, and I was one of them for 26 years. So I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to tell you some things that I wish people had told me. I recommend that you write them down, not because they're rocket science, but because it'll probably be good for you to carry them in your wallet so when you get frustrated, you can remember. Okay? I'm sorry if the videos are a little choppy, but please focus on the message. Okay? I am not a professional video maker, and I'm trying to get better, but patience, please. So I'm at work on a Sunday morning, guys. I hadn't planned to work on Sundays anymore, but I was too generous with my money these last couple of months. I went to California twice, and I just spent too much money helping the grandkid out and stuff. So now I got to play catch up and make up for it. So I'm here on a Sunday morning, and I get my best sleep in the middle of the hours. Sorry, that's from 6 to 10 in the morning. I get my best sleep. So I really don't want to be here, but you know what? It's a means to an end. It's a means to an end, man. I am a preschool teacher, so I'm going to be taking care of some kids today during church service. And as much as I love kids, I'd rather be at home in bed. But anyway, this is what I'm saying. It's a means to an end. Now, the end is for me to catch up on my expenses so I can go to Africa. I want to go to Africa. I want to be able to help out my grandkids and stuff. So, it is what it is, man. I have to realize that this is a choice that I made. And I do make these choices because I want to be able to do certain things, And that's what you need to focus on when you hate your job. It's a means to an end. That's all it is. When you come to work, you are playing a role. Now, I got dressed up today. I'm coming to a church, and I dress appropriately. I don't come with my butt hanging out or my cleavage. I have let me show you what I look like this morning. So you can see that, hold on. So this is me this morning. I have a shirt that covers up everything. I have on some nice comfortable shoes. I'm all dressed in black with stretch pants, but not tight stretch pants. I have this on, covers up everything. Hair's professional. Nice earrings, nice elegant earrings. See if you can catch my earrings, see? Nice and elegant, classy. Nice lipstick, glasses, even though I should have worn the other glasses, but anyway. So I'm looking the part. And the reason I say that is because I'm playing a role. They hired me because I look classy, because I dress appropriately. And I'm here to take care of the children. I act appropriately with the children. I'm here to play a role. It's not about me. It's not about what I like and I don't like. It's not about, you're frustrating me and I'm going to start yelling and screaming. It's about playing a role that they hired me for. Now, I need this money because I want to go certain places and I want to do certain things. So I need to act accordingly. It's a means to an end. I love working at this church because it provides me with the flexibility that I need to be able to go on vacation anytime I want to, and to be able to have it's the salary that I want for myself. It pays better than other churches that I've worked for, or other jobs that I've worked at. And but most of all, I do it for the flexibility. Now, I'm going to work Sundays for the next 6 months to about a year till I catch up. And then I'm going to stop working on Sundays. I don't like working on Sundays at all. I try to keep my job from Monday through Friday. But it is what it is. Sometimes we have to do what we don't want to do, and that's just the way the ball bounces, I feel grateful. I live in gratitude. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to work, because when I lived in California, near the end, no one wanted to hire me because of my age. I was in my 55, 56 years old, and no one, I'm in great health, but no one wanted to hire me. So I had my daughter move me, my oldest daughter, Jessica, moved me to Georgia, and there's a lot of job opportunity here, so I'm really swollen this morning. Sorry, I look awful. But anyway, I'm here. So it's been a great opportunity, but I'm just saying that this job is not about me coming with my hair, all whacked out like I'm going to the disco. This is a church. Dress accordingly. Sometimes I see, some of the young girls come here with their tight jeans on and cut off shirts, or, kind of like the belly a little bit showing, or stretch pants that are really too tight. And I'm sorry, guys, it's not about us, showing our style and our personal uniqueness. It's about you're playing a role. And we need to dress appropriately. I wish I had known this stuff when I first started working, because I did think it was about my personality and the way I wanted to dress and the way, But I've learned as I've gotten older that, hey, you know what? It's not about you. When you come to work, it's work. That's exactly what it is. The word work. When they hired you for a role, to play a role at their institute of the persona they want you to present. So that's what you do. Now, if it's Saturday on my personal time, that's why I go under an alias name on my Facebook, because I do not want my employers looking at my personal business. It's none of their business, okay? What I do in my personal time is none of their business. That's why I'm under a different name on Facebook. I don't want my employers looking at I don't want the children that I take care of the parents that I take care of their children. I don't want them looking at my Facebook account. It's none of their business what I do on my personal time. It's how I act when I'm with them, with their child. Their child is my priority when I'm with them. But if I'm out, when I used to drink, if I'm out drinking at a bar, it's none of their business. So try to keep that separate as much as you can. If you can change the name on your Facebook, I recommend you do that, because your employer should not be looking at your personal activities. Those are personal. Back in the day when I was young, there was no social media. So when you came to work, they didn't know what you did in your private life, and they still shouldn't. It's none of their business. But what I'm trying to get to is that I'm up here on a Sunday morning at this church. Am I doing it because I want to? No, I'm doing it because I have to. It's a means to an end. Focus on that. The job that I worked at 26 years, I wish I had looked at it more as a means to an end. because I think I would have enjoyed it more. And that's why I'm making this video, because I need you guys to enjoy the job that you're doing, because if not, let me tell you what happens. If you don't try your best to enjoy the job you have to do every single day, you're going to bring that frustration home, and you're going to take it out on your family, and you're going to resent your family, and you're going to start abusing your family in one way or another, whether it be in your attitude or in your perspective on life, or just in the little things you do. You're going to start taking it out on them, and you don't want to do that. Those are the people you're working for. You're working to make their life better, to provide a better life for them. So if you come home and take it out on them, your frustration out on them, aren't you defeating the purpose? I think so. I think so. I know that I took a lot of frustration out on my children and probably on my spouse, because when you're unhappy and frustrated, you can't help but radiate that out. That's why I'm making this video, because I don't want you guys radiating that out on your family and friends. You know, I mean, on your family, your friends, your children especially, because you're defeating the purpose. So you're like a hamster going in a hamster wheel to get somewhere, but you're not getting anywhere. And all they're going to do is remember you as being frustrated and very unhappy, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to create a happy home environment and a happy medium at work too. You should have seen the smile on the girl's face when I told her, wherever you need me, that's fine. Period. The last thing they need is someone with an attitude. So I'm just saying this. They're paying me, right? They're paying me $14 an hour to watch some kids. Easiest job I've had. Whether they put me in room 1210 or room 518, who cares? I'm here to do a job. My services are out for hire. What do I care if they put me in... Even I've had to work with people that I don't like. And so what? You know, I mean, who cares? I'm here to do a job. It's not about me and what I personally prefer. It's about they need someone to sit with the kids and watch them. I'm a professional. I took classes on early childhood education. I have an AA degree in sociology. And the reason I only have an AA degree is because I had to keep that full-time job. You know what I mean? I could not just quit my job, and I wasn't allowed to. My husband wasn't very supportive, so I had to do what I had to do. And yeah, I wish things could have been different, but they weren't. So I'm going to work with that. I mean, that's what I worked with what I had. We have to work with what we have. And it is what it is. I made the best out of a bad situation. Really did. And that's fine. Today I'm satisfied with that, because guess what? That 26-year job worked out for me. Now I get my Social Security and a pension from that hospital, and I worked my way up a little bit in that hospital. I could have done a lot better, but I had a very chaotic, traumatic private life at home, so it was hard for me to be unhappy It was hard because I was not only unhappy at work, I was unhappy at home too. So that's what made it really pretty awful. What is this? It's awesome. Wow. It's incredible. I think it's some kind of nest, some kind of bird. And here's some shark teeth. Awesome. You know, I say the word awesome too much. Fantastic. How about that? So yeah, I mean, I worked my way up from a receptionist to a administrative assistant to like 100 and something doctors. Then from there I went to human resources. Then from there I went to drug addiction research. Then from there I went to the emergency room, working in the emergency room, and it was really great. That was my favorite job, was working in the emergency room. Then I retired from there and I became a preschool teacher, which I've always loved, working with children. So now I get a pension from them because of the years I worked there, and I get a retirement, which I feel very lucky because between those two, I combine them, and I pay my now rent. I don't own a house anymore. I don't really want to own a house at this particular point. I just want to rent because I don't want the responsibility of owning a house. I don't have a man, so I know I could do the things around the house myself. I don't want to, so I just like what I do, you know. Right now I just trying to keep things simple. But the reason I say that is because, you know, that job that I hate actually provided me with the ability to provide health insurance for my family, provide the housing that I needed for them, and now it provides me with an income that helps me not to work unless I want to. Now, like I said, I asked them, could I pick up some Sundays because I spent too much money. Today I have choices, guys. I can choose to work or I can choose not to work. A lot of people can't do that nowadays. You know, I see these people in their 70s at Walmart as greeters. And wow, you know, these people have worked just as hard as I have. And they still have to be on their feet. They're painful feet, walking back and forth, greeting people, like as if they were in their 20s, right? In my generation, only 20-year-olds held jobs like that, not 60-year-olds or 70-year-olds. So it's really sad to see that. It's really sad to see someone at that age painfully walking across the floor, but they have to be there because they can't live on their Social Security only. So I'm very lucky that the job that I worked, I'm very lucky that I was, and thank God to my children, that I had to be consistent and stay at that job and work that job for 26 years to, that I do get a pension. You know, there's people that I know that worked with me that they switched from another prominent hospital over to my hospital, and they didn't stay the whole 26 years. They were busy switching around because they didn't like somebody or something, and they ended up without a pension, you know. So I'm very lucky in that sense. It worked out actually for me. Now I'm able to do whatever I want to whenever I want to because I have those two incomes and I can work whenever I want to. So you want to create choices for yourself. You always want to have choices, and you want that for your children too. Now, most of all, you want to make sure that you have a peaceful home life. If you have to work a job that you hate, at least make sure you have a peaceful home life, because that can be very, oh gosh, devastating. You go to work all day, you hate your job, you come home, it's nothing but chaos. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. Because of my job, I was able, like I said, to provide health insurance, and as a result, my granddaughter was born. She was born in my daughter's teens, and we were able to put her under my insurance, and she was able to, my daughter was able to go on to continue her studies and to go to the university, and now she's very successful, and she works in entertainment. She's very successful, and yeah, it was just providing that stable base, that I never had. So I'm very proud of that. You have to keep your eye on the sparrow, guys. Remember, when you're at work, when you're working a job that you hate, remember why you're there. Now, if that takes you putting a picture of your children or dog or whatever in front of you, so be it. Remember why you're there. Every time I thought of quitting my job, or was just like so frustrated and felt so stuck, I had to remind myself, why am I here? I'm here for my children, so they can have a better future. I'll tell you a little bit about my childhood a little bit later. But I wanted them to be able to start off at a higher level. And I achieved that. Because I kept that job, I achieved that. They had their own room most of their childhood. I never had my own room. They were able to do swim team, dance classes. They were able to socialize in different events. And I never had any of that. So I did achieve what I wanted to achieve, but you got to keep your eye on the sparrow. You don't quit a job just because you don't like your boss, just because you don't like your coworker. You have to adjust your attitude. Now, what you want your boss is what you want to do. I'm not saying be a brown-nosed kiss ass, to your boss, but what you do want to do is let them know that they can depend on you. Make sure you go to work all the time. Make sure you're on time. Because I see people lose jobs over the stupidest things, like being 15 minutes late all the time after they've been told several times, or calling in sick all the time. Come on, get your priorities straight. But need to focus on why are we there? Am I working because I feel like it, or I'm working because I need the money? I need the money, man. So I finished my 5-hour shift on Sunday morning, guys, and it was okay. It's hard because the kids don't listen. Hello. This generation is real bad at following instructions. I'm sorry. But anyway, I love them to death. The kids are wonderful. It's not their fault. That's the way they're taught, not to listen. So that's why they don't. Unfortunately, that can lead to a lot of problems to their future life. But in their future. But what are you going to do? Anyway, I just finished my 5-hour shift, and I got the nerve to complain, right? At least I have a job. A lot of people don't even have that. So I really do stay grateful, because that's the thing to do, I'm grateful for what I have. And my hair. I had to tie it up. It was getting on my nerves. Anyway, I will finish this up when I get home. Gonna drive now. I'm gonna make a part 2 on hating your job, because it's so very important. The thing that most concerns me is that a lot of people end up abusing family members and actually killing the whole family because they don't want the responsibility of going to work every day and hating their job and having to take care of this family. You know, you can leave if you have to. They'll figure it out. I mean, I don't know what to say. I just think anything is better than killing your family. I remember one case of a man who his wife just had twins, and I think they had 3 older kids, and he killed everybody in the family, including himself. They lived in this nice house in a nice neighborhood. I guess they were living in a house of cards because I guess he couldn't keep it up, but he didn't tell her. So instead of talking to her, he just killed them all, including the little babies, of course. And that's just horrifying and ridiculous. It can be avoided. So, like I said, you know, you might want to take notes, and I'm going to make a part 2. Love you guys. I want the best for you, and it is doable, man.